Hey Emma,
Yes, Mal.
what would I say if I found the ghost of Goku in my house?
Oh no, I don't know. What would you say?
Egad! Hello and welcome to Talk This.
It's dangerous to podcast alone.
Goku was a red herring. It was just a Luigi's Mansion joke.
I was wondering. I was like, I don't know if is that some sort of Dragon Ball deep cut that I'm not aware of?
I should have said Zegad.
Yeah, that would have been
Dang
better.
it!
Too bad we can't start over now.
All right. Take two.
No. It's too late.
Man, if I'd given myself just 10 more seconds to think about the joke, I could have been a legend. Well, welcome, folks. My name is Madelyn. I'm your so close to, but so far to being a legend host.
I'm Emma, your other host.
Emma, who almost seemingly forgot her name for a moment there.
I usually say the host part and then your name. So I was waiting for you to say your name, even though you'd already said it at the beginning. It threw me off.
Yes, put the blame on me for you not knowing your own name.
That's what I usually do. Whenever anything goes wrong, I'm like, oh, gosh darn it, Malin.
It's the ghost of Goku haunting you. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in. This week on the show, we're going to be talking about the classic Luigi's Mansion, which it's nice and timely. We're doing pretty good at picking out old games that are timely lately. And also, the not-so-classic Jump Force.
What do you mean? Jump Force is a cultural phenomenon.
You're right. That is an accurate description.
Jump Force is part of a cultural phenomenon.
Yes, it is a video game. You're right.
Okay.
Anyway, we'll save our Jump Force thoughts and hot takes for the second half of the episode, but let's start off by talking about the real subject of the opening joke, Luigi's Mansion. So, Luigi's Mansion is a 2001 GameCube game from, shocker, Nintendo, and it was a launch title for the GameCube, and the best-selling launch title of the GameCube launch titles, and the fifth best-selling title of the GameCube's game history.
And the GameCube had a lot of games, so
It's
that
literally
means something.
in the name. Games in 3 dimensions.
Yes, it was just a cube full of games.
So Luigi's Mansion, the original one does take place in a mansion. Luigi's Mansion 3, which you've maybe been hearing about in the news lately, as it's coming out this fall, right? I don't remember.
It's coming out on the 31st of October.
It is coming out on Halloween. That's appropriate.
Yeah.
Because I saw someplace describe it as a survival horror game.
That's really funny.
I was like, you know what? Like, you're not wrong.
It's not inaccurate, right?
Like, it is technically in that genre.
And
but
I feel very invested in keeping Luigi alive.
That's real. However, it is Luigi, on the other hand.
As a female who prefers Luigi, did you see that article?
What?
That was like, Nintendo did a survey, and female players prefer Luigi as the main character.
Yes. I think we talked about that at some point.
Probably.
Correctly. Luigi is the superior Mario because he is the inferior Mario.
Exactly. Everybody loves the underdog.
All the men listening right now are like, what? All the ladies are like, yeah.
Yes, but the first Luigi's Mansion, does the second one also take place in a mansion? Probably, right?
I believe so.
Well, the first one definitely takes place in a mansion. Luigi has won a mansion in a contest that he apparently didn't enter. But he's like, sweet mansion. So he takes his brother Mario to...
You're required to do that for the rest of the episode every time.
I don't think I could do that.
You should have worn your Luigi hat for this one.
Ah, darn. Yeah, the listeners would have really appreciated that, you know.
They would have gotten sense. Anyway, continue.
So he brings Mario to the mansion with him to sort of like check it out, right? But then I can't do it. And then Mario goes missing. Because, shocker, it turns out that this suspicious mansion is haunted. Ooh. What did Luigi say? What's like his startled noise?
Oh no!
Oh no! Yes, that one. It's a big oh no. And so he goes through the mansion with the inventions of Dr. Egad in order to find his brother.
Yeah.
His superior brother.
Because it turns out, in his first appearance, King Boo created this mansion to store all of these portrait spirits, these ghosts that Professor Egad had stored away in portraits to keep them safe from haunting other people. But now they're all out and about. And Luigi needs to find Mario, who we eventually find out, spoiler for a game that is now pushing 20 years old, is in a painting. They need to recover the painting of Mario.
Who could have guessed he would be in a painting? You know?
Not me.
Not me. The first game does suffer from a startling lack of Luigi,
yes.
in my opinion.
So does the second game.
So does the second game. It's very disappointing to play them and realize that Luigi is not there. You know?
The Poltergust 3000 doesn't make up for it for you?
The Game Boy Horror might make up for it.
I didn't realize Nintendo had a long history of putting devices that look like their systems into games. I was like, oh, Sheikah Slate, like, funny, it looks like a Switch.
Yeah.
But evidently they do this just all the time.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you need some sort of mystical device that you can look at things on. You know? Why bother designing something else when you can just make, like, a slightly stylized version of something you've already designed?
Why work hard when you could work smart?
Exactly.
Yeah, so your two devices that you use from Professor Egad, right, are the Poltergust 3000, which is a modified vacuum cleaner.
Of course.
Which feels right for plumber boy Luigi.
Right.
Something he would be comfortable with.
Right.
Like a shop vac.
The suitable weapon, you know?
Yeah.
You don't want to take something that you're unfamiliar with. You want to take something that you're an expert in.
Right, I mean, you don't want to give Luigi a gun.
I mean, maybe you do. But for other reasons.
The kind of survival horror game you're trying to create here. Dark and gritty. What if Luigi's Mansion 3 comes out and it's dark and gritty?
That would be a real shocker. Considering how much footage they've shown from it, if it just came out and, like, Mario's head is blown off within the first 5 minutes, I think it would make some waves.
Oh, remember when they killed Luigi?
Right, yeah. The Smash Bros. Trailers have been very violent. Mario also died.
Everyone died.
It's true. Mario, I think, was skewered by, like, a dragon claw, because it was the Ridley reveal. And then Luigi was the Castlevania one, so he got, like, his soul sucked out.
Sucked out.
Yeah.
Dark. I'm just saying, they could, it's not going to be this, they've talked about what Luigi's Mansion 3 is, but they could have it be, this time, you're doing the haunting. Because they're all dead.
Oh, the Mario characters, or you're a Boo?
You're Luigi as a Boo.
I see.
Booigi.
Booigi. I'll be actually very disappointed if Booigi is not a thing, after they've already introduced us to Gooigi.
Yeah. No, they've said that Luigi's Mansion 3, which, by the way, was supposed to be a working title, and I just read an article that Slate posted, like, 2 days ago, and they were like, why have they not given it a real title? It doesn't take place in a mansion. It takes place in a hotel.
Luigi's Hotel does not have a good ring to it.
Well, they were suggesting, like, the Grand Hotel, or, like, Luigi the Grand Hotel, or something. I don't
That
know.
sounds way too serious.
I know.
Luigi. The Grand Hotel.
Okie dokie.
Okie dokie.
But the whole conceit of this one is, this time they're going on vacation, which they also, I think, won in a sweepstakes, which has Luigi not learned his lesson after 20 years.
You know, it's been 20 years, right? So, like, he learned it, but then over time he forgot. Like, all those classic tales of mortal foibles, you know?
Yes. No one more Shakespearean than Luigi.
I don't think so.
Once more unto the mansion, my friends.
No, that's not how Luigi talks, Phil. Come on.
You're right, but I can't do it as Luigi. I can't. I don't have a good enough Luigi impression. I should have worked on it in preparation for this episode, but I neglected that.
We're all very disappointed to miss out on your Luigi impression.
But what I was trying to say before I got distracted by comparing Luigi to Henry IV, no, Henry V, I think.
Once more to the breach is Henry V.
Henry V. But all, you know, he could be any of the kings from history. Very similar.
No, you see, Henry V is the one I've seen, so obviously he's the superior Henry.
Luigi's more of a Richard III, though.
Is he?
Handicapped, but beloved.
Okay. Fair enough.
Anyway, in this hotel for this new one that they're making, though, they have apparently 17 different themed floors. So, Emma, I wanted to ask you, if Nintendo came to you, I think it's Tanabe who's working on this one, and said, Emma-san, konnichiwa, would you like to give us a theme idea for one of these floors? What theme would you suggest?
Huh. I mean, they've already got 17. Like, that's a lot of themes already that I feel like covers, like, there's, like, a disco floor, and there's, like, a cook floor, and there's, like, a floor full of sand.
The level that people have played is medieval. That's the one that they've been showing off.
Oh, interesting. I don't know. You go first. What about you?
Well, the obvious one to jump way ahead to the end of the episode would be a floor that was Shonen Jump themed.
That would be very weird.
Yes. But not impossible.
Right. I just want a floor of the, like the Smash trailer where they're all, like, possessed and have red eyes, right? The spirits thing. Mm-hmm. I just want a floor where there's lots of Nintendo characters that are demon eyes, or whatever they did to them. Yeah.
A goo floor might provide for some interesting puzzles.
Yeah. Luigi's rise from the floor.
For those who aren't in the know, Luigi, they made a 3DS remake, I think in 2018, which I don't know why I'm still shocked that the 3DS gets new games, but I am. It's been around for so long. It surprises me.
I still have a lot of 3DS games that I need to get around to playing, so...
Fair. But they made a remake of the original Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS last year, where one of the things that they added to it was Luigi, who not only allowed for some... I don't know if on the 3DS he allowed for co-op play. Is it right to call Luigi a he? Does Luigi have a gender?
Luigi is just Luigi.
Great. Luigi actually doesn't use pronouns.
Yes, exactly.
So Luigi was introduced into that game as a new element where you have this goo version, which it's another one of EGAD's inventions, apparently. Although, like, what, dude? Like,
a little creepy, EGAD. Stepping a little out of bounds there.
He was probably just he was trying to come up with, like, rhyming couplets to write poetry about Luigi, and he was like, Luigi.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. But he allows you to create a goo version of Luigi that you can use to help you solve puzzles. Like, he can press the button so you can go through the door. That kind of thing. But he also allows for local co-op on the
Heck yeah.
upcoming Switch, Luigi's Mansion 3.
Heck yeah.
Which
Sorry,
makes you much more
Luigi,
likely
but
to
I
buy the game.
prefer Luigi over Luigi.
That's tough.
You just always gotta go for the inferior one,
That's was a mean thing to say.
But he's
Luigi-
superior because he is inferior. He's made of goo.
I'm just saying, like, is that substancist?
I don't know, but he can't walk through water, so that makes him kind of inferior.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. I would be remiss if I didn't mention the excellent sad comic series that I saw on Twitter months ago about Gooigi.
I think I saw it last month.
Time feels strange.
The end of July, I saw it, I think. But yes, there's somewhere on Twitter, in the vast depths, there's a very funny, sad, thoughtful comic series in which Luigi speaks to Gooigi about his troubles. And it's quite good.
It's mostly about how he just wants Mario to let him go on adventures.
Yeah. Hey, Madelyn,
So.
can I go on adventures?
Maybe in a little bit.
Okay.
We can think about it.
Oh, Guemma. It doesn't work very well.
Guemma does not work at all. It does work, though, that appearing in Luigi's Mansion 3 is a dog named Polterpup.
Wow, I like that.
Yeah. It got shouted out in a review, and I was like, okay, this game just shot to the top of my list. No big deal.
It's really making the original version just pale in comparison, though. I mean, no dogs, no Luigi. Like, what's the point of it, to be honest?
So, actually, originally the point of Luigi's Mansion, before it was going to be a game, was that it was just a gameplay demo to show off the graphic capabilities of the GameCube. And then they decided, oh wait, we'll make a Luigi game. Technically it's the second Luigi game, but it's the first one that has Luigi in the title. First one is called Mario is Missing, where you play as Luigi. Which is like, come on, you can't even make the title. Can't even be, Luigi, Mario is missing.
No, just Mario's missing, here's this guy.
It also availed me of the fact that, did you know that Nintendo's, like, gaming expo-y kind of thing used to be called Nintendo Space World?
No, but I wish it was still called that.
Right? Why are we using Nintendo Direct when they could be Nintendo Space World?
What is the reason for that, though?
I don't know.
What's the rationale? They're just like, what do people like? Space and the world. Put in that SEO into our communications to the public.
I can't explain it, but I do think that it would be quite a comeback. I'm also wondering when we're due for another year of Luigi.
Yeah. Yeah, this was made during the first one was made during the year of Luigi, right? Or no, the second one.
The second one. Emma.
Right.
Don't you know anything about Luigi?
It's 2008?
2013, actually.
Oh, whatever.
You're a mess.
Same difference.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2 was, it's like Dark Moon. I almost called it Dark Lion, but it's Luigi's Mansion. It's not even Luigi's Mansion 2. The second Luigi's Mansion, called Luigi's Mansion Dark Lion, was released in 2013 to celebrate the year of Luigi, which spanned from 2013 into 2014, I think.
I'm sorry, it's called Dark Lion?
No, it's called, did I say that? It's called Dark Moon.
Okay. I was like, Dark Moon's already kind of like a intense title for this, but Dark Lion is even more like, what is going on exactly in this second game?
I don't know.
Is
Dark
Luigi
Lion.
the Dark Lion? Is he fighting the Dark Lion?
I think it would be tough to defeat a dark lion with Luigi's capability of stunning ghosts with a flashlight to reveal their heart.
Well, it's got a lion heart, so.
Like Richard III.
Exactly. There we go.
It all comes full circle.
It all comes together.
What if they do announce? What if they come out and they're like, you know how we were calling this Luigi's Mansion 3? It's actually called Luigi's Lionheart Hotel.
That would be a lot for
Luigi
me.
has a hump now.
Oh, no. Yeah, where's my Shakespeare floor?
That could be a good one. There are a lot of dead people in Shakespeare.
That's all you need. Lots of dead people.
I think like a food floor would be good.
There probably already is a food floor.
What do you think the floors are? Come on, name 17 good themes. Go.
I don't know.
Go.
They're not like one person came up with these 17
Okay,
themes.
we can trade off. I'll count.
I mean, there's a disco floor. I know.
Okay, 1.
There's just like the hotel floor.
2.
There's the medieval floor, like you
3.
said. There's one that just has lots of sand on it. I'm not sure what the theme of that floor is.
Beach or quicksand. Sure.
Yeah.
4.
There's like a restaurant floor. I'm pretty
5.
sure. I'm pretty sure that's its own floor. That's all I know from trailers.
Oh, you're actually picking from trailers. I thought you were making these up.
No.
Okay, well, come on. 12 more. Get creative.
I'm not gonna pick 12 more.
Great, I'll do it. All right. Number 1, Dark Mario floor.
Okay.
Number 2, Goo floor.
Okay.
Number 3, Fire floor.
Okay.
Number 4, Original Dark Mansion floor, like GameCube graphics.
Okay.
Number 5, Mall. I'll keep going. Number 6, Stormy weather floor. Help me. Got
No.
any? Number 7.
Listeners, fill in the rest of the floors for us.
Animal floor.
Give us some more floors.
Number 8. Plumbing floor.
On social media or
Number 9. Music floor.
Okay.
No, that's disco. Shoot, I take it back. Number 9. You said Shakespeare. That would be a good one. Shakespeare
Okay.
floor. Number 10. Podcast floor. Shout out to us for coming up with the themes.
Okay.
You do not sound impressed.
I don't know what that would be like.
There's like a lot of music, like sound and people talking, and the ghosts are podcasters.
Oh God, no.
Yeah,
True
so we
hell.
appear. Number 11. Shoot, I'm running out of good ideas. Game design is hard.
That's why you don't do it by yourself.
Some people do.
Yes, but you don't come up with 17 floors for Luigi to explore by yourself.
Well, I didn't. You came up with 5 of them by stealing them from Nintendo. Number 11.
Perfect.
Words floor. It's like you're in the diction, like you're running through like a book.
Okay, sure.
Number 12. Peach floor.
Like peaches or like Princess Peach?
Every meaning of the word peach.
Great. Love that.
All in one. On this floor, you see Luigi's dark moon.
Oh, no. No. I have seen enough of the Nintendo character's anatomy over the last few years, so I need to see nothing of Luigi.
You don't want to see Luigi's, like, chest hair?
No. Jump Force.
You don't
We're
have
moving
anything
away
else
from
to
the
say
chest
about
hair. We're
Luigi's
running.
motion?
We're running at full speed away. We're Naruto running away from the chest hair.
Oof.
Okay.
Well, if you're...
So Jump Force.
So Jump Force was released in February of this year, and it features the characters of Shonen Jump. It's in honor of the 50th anniversary of Shonen Jump, the classic boys and listeners. I almost called you readers, which was really bad. Listeners, I had the opportunity to fix this mistake, but as maybe we'll explain at the end of the episode, I'm not gonna fix it. Boys Anime Magazine.
Manga, Madeline.
No.
I'm glad that you kept the mistake for posterity.
I want everyone to know that I really am that dumb. And that I believe in a future where one day we can open a magazine and see a video playing.
Amazing. Truly the pinnacle of sci-fi.
So, Emma, can you explain for the listeners what Jump Force is about?
Sure. So, Jump Force is a fighting game from Spike Chunsoft and Bandai Namco, in which characters from Shonen Jump, which is the biggest manga magazine in Japan, pretty much. So people like Goku, as the beginning joke suggested, and Luffy from One Piece, and Naruto from Naruto. And other characters like that.
Is Boruto in it?
You're right, I'm sorry. I meant Boruto's dad from the series, Boruto's dad. They jump through some sort of portal into our world in which some sort of threat is threatening our state of being, our world, you might say. And they've come to sort of stop it, and sort of stop the worlds from merging into one. Keep the worlds sort of separate in their own separate places.
As you can tell from Emma's repeated use of sort of, it's very hard to tell what's going on.
But the plot, I don't think, is the essential part of this game. This game is all about that eternal question, who would win in a fight, right? So you can pit these superpowered characters against each other and finally settle that question of who would win in a fight.
You can also settle the question of who will look really weird as a sort of combo of anime style and realistic style.
Yeah, so that's something that got a lot of attention when it was first announced, in that, like, they'd taken these sort of very stylized designs and sort of mapped them onto models that are very realistic looking. Like, they get dirty, and the cloth looks like cloth, and all this sorts of stuff. They look like human beings if human beings did not look like human beings. Does that make sense to you, listeners?
It does. And listeners, if you go and look at pictures of these models, you too will understand what Emma means by this.
It's just, like, I watched some video of it. I really debated with myself. I thought, maybe I should buy it and try it. Like, we have the online PlayStation right now. Mm-hmm. And stuff like that, and I was like, no. It's still decently expensive, and you will never play it after this. You can't afford buying it. So I did not buy it, but I did watch some video of it, and the models do look better in motion when you don't have to see their faces as much. I think that's the key. It's just the faces. The faces look so wrong.
They're butter faces. Them.
They're what?
Never mind.
They're you mean like the models are a piece of toast and they've just slathered the butter faces onto it?
I believe you've never heard the phrase butterface.
I have never heard the phrase butterface.
It's like about a woman who's attractive, butterface.
Oh. I don't like that.
Me either, but I was trying to use it in a humorous way here.
But I think it's the eyes. The eyes are the key. The smaller the eyes on the character, the slightly better they look. Because I guess it's just a proportion thing, right? Like, if the proportions are wrong on a mostly realistic looking model, it just... So, like, Deku is just absolutely, like, an inhuman, terrifying monster.
Imagine meeting someone whose eye is the size of, like, your cheek. Like a real flesh eye.
Just run away. We've ended up in a Stephen King book or something.
Or in Luigi's Mansion.
We've ended up in Luigi's Mansion. That's too scary for Luigi's Mansion.
It's the gritty, realistic version that I talked about.
There's a jump force floor in Luigi's Mansion.
I suggested it, and then I left it out on my final count, but could be a good crossover.
So, like we said, it's a fighting game, but it's not like Mortal Kombat or Injustice or Tekken or any of those ones, because it takes place in a 3D space. So you have like a ring, sort of, I guess. Like, it's not, you have an invisible ring that you're fighting in. And so I was watching some of the gameplay, and I don't understand how you can follow any of the action, particularly when you're playing with like another person in the same room, because apparently this does have local co-op. But like if you're playing with another person in the same room, like, or just by yourself, like the camera moves so much. Like, one, you're moving in a 3D space, and then the camera moves like around you, and like whenever you do like a cool move, quote unquote, like it'll either like zoom in to your eyes or the character's eyes or the character's hands or the character's feet, whatever they're doing, and do like a dramatic moment. But like I don't understand how, like, when somebody does that and the camera zooms in all dramatically, like how does the other player respond to that when they can't really read what they're doing or what their opponent is doing?
They respond by getting their butt kicked.
Pretty much. So basically just like, it didn't seem like a very, maybe it's like our kind of fighting game. It's just a button masher. That's kind of what it seemed like.
That is geared toward me.
Yep. So I guess I should have bought it.
A fatal mistake.
Man.
So when I was reading about it, I realized it's not quite the same, but it did remind me of, do you remember that game that we played in the mall in Osaka, in Japan?
Yeah. The weird My Hero Academia card video game.
Yeah. The 3v3 fighting reminded me a little bit of that.
But it's a little different, though, because that one, like, was, like, turn-based?
Question mark?
Question mark? We played it, but we didn't fully understand what was happening or what we were supposed to be doing.
Wow, way to
there was like a
that.
meter.
We did not understand even a little what was happening.
There was like some sort of like meter that you're supposed to like hit at the right time, and then you win the round, I guess.
Yeah.
And you do the damage. And also you had 3 characters out all at once. Whereas in this one, it's like you have 3 characters that you cycle between. So like if you feel like somebody's like more suited towards your opponent's character, you can tag out to a different character. Or if somebody gets knocked out, you tag out to a different character or something. It's that kind of fighting game style.
It's difficult for me to make a final verdict about how similar or different they are because I could not read that game.
Or at all.
It's been revealed.
It's okay. That's why we do the podcast, right? No reading involved.
Yes, Emma actually ghostwrites all of my blogs. I haven't watched a single episode of Split Screen.
I'm really good at sort of taking on different personas, you know?
Persona!
It is a little inconvenient when Madelyn can't read and has to record sort of the clickbait boyfriend quotes for his blogs.
Yeah, well, he writes those.
Oh, fair enough. You're right.
He just roasts himself over and over again.
It's a form of, like, you know, self-care.
What?
Have a good laugh at yourself, you know?
Okay. Yeah, sure. Totally. I can't laugh. I can't read.
Reading? You can't laugh if you can't read?
I didn't mean that. I meant in like I'm not in a position to think you're stupid. But yeah, you're right. I also am unable to laugh.
That's so weird. I have to like do a different voice and sort of pipe in the laughter. That's why the editing takes so long.
Yeah. I feel like there was something else. Oh, I said persona and it made me think. So, as you probably guessed from these comments that we've been making because that's what we do on the show. We comment on video games. Shon- I almost called it Shonen Jump. Jump Force, which, by the way, I wrote that I could not remember the title of this game to save my life. It is not Jump Street, Jump Team, or Jump Squad, in case you were wondering.
It could be, though.
It could be.
Those are all possible names for our mashup.
You're right. Jump Mansion.
Jump Mansion.
Jump Hotel.
Luigi's Force.
Stop. But it made me think when I said Persona. Oh my god, I've mixed 3 trains of thought. What I was trying to say first is that this game did not get great reviews.
Right.
But I wanted to ask Emma, if you were going to make this style of game with a series or a company or whatever's work that you would like to see beat each other up, do you know what that would be?
I don't know. It's hard. Like, all the obvious choices have, like, already made this game. So,
That's not true.
what's the other obvious choice?
So there's not like a Disney one where the Disney characters beat each other up.
Yeah, I want to see Snow White absolutely deck Sleeping Beauty in the face.
You said that's like as sarcasm, but I do.
She unleashes her birds upon her victim.
Do you know how many times Clickbait Boyfriend would play just to like wail on Mickey Mouse? Many times. I don't even think, like, speaking of, I don't think Square Enix has one.
There's like Dissidia.
What is
I guess.
Dissidia?
I think it's just like another Final Fantasy game, but it has all the Final Fantasy characters in it.
I don't understand.
I'm surprised there isn't a Final Fantasy Warriors. Sorry, I was just thinking about that.
It's a similar idea.
Yeah.
I feel like Jump Force Warriors might have worked better than this.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit.
Where
Then you
just
can't
fight,
answer
like,
who wins in a fight.
You can fight like armies of Narutos.
He does have like the shadow clone technique.
Yeah.
Or the jutsu, I guess it's called. Where he makes like copies of himself. So that would work actually. It's just a sea of Narutos. I'm sorry, Boruto's dads.
You're right. Look, I think that would have been more effective. And more memeable, too.
Speaking of Naruto, something that is noteworthy about the roster of this game, even after like DLC stuff and everything, is that it's pretty much like, with like 2 exceptions, entirely male characters. And it's, you know, it's easy to say like, oh, well, you know, it's Shonen Jump, it's for boys, they have more male characters, which, like, fair. But every single one of, like, the major series has, like, at least one prominent female that just, like, hasn't made it.
Like, it's a boys' magazine for boys.
Oh, no, only boys allowed.
Boys do not like to play as girls. Boys cannot play as girls.
I was thinking that this was, like, probably the right time for them to make this, though, because, based on my limited knowledge of this, but, Shonen Jump has been kind of diversifying its catalog recently, so it has a lot more things with, like, characters that, like, wouldn't fit very well into a fighting game. Although I did see a lot of people on Twitter, like, when this was announced and new characters were being released, of, like, there's a series called The Promised Neverland now running in Jump, which is, like, at least the first part is kind of like a suspense mind games type story. A survival horror in the vein of Luigi's Mansion 3. And the main character of that one is a girl. So I saw a lot of people on Twitter being like, and her name's Emma, so it was very weird to see this on Twitter. But I saw on Twitter of people being like, just give Emma a gun and put her into Jump Force. And you know what?
That's pretty much what you do when you create your character, right?
Yeah. Except for Luigi. Luigi does not.
Yeah, you don't give Luigi a gun.
Luigi gets his modified vacuum cleaner, and that's it.
You can have a Game Boy.
It's Game Boy horror.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll have like a Switch device that's like that.
There was one reporter at one of their like events that the designers asked him to guess. They were like, "What do you think it'll be?" And the reporter was like, "I don't know, a Wii U, a Switch." It's like, of course it's gonna be a Switch, you fool.
A Wii U. That's the most horrifying one though.
Yeah.
If you had to pick the scariest of Nintendo's consoles, it's the ghost known as the Wii U.
I suppose it could be the 3DS, not in terms of the scariest, but like as what they're gonna put in.
Yeah, that's fair. Could be. The 3DS horror.
The Squee DS.
Sure.
The Luigi DS.
Luigi DS. I like that a lot.
But you have to pronounce it Luigi.
DS.
Yeah. So you ready to try to match these up?
Oh boy, am I ready. So we're making a fighting game with Nintendo characters. Okay.
No, I was gonna make that joke!
So, we can finally know who would win in a fight, Mario or Luigi.
Who would win?
Obviously, Mario.
Luigi.
Luigi would come in clutch. He would just interrupt the fight. Luigi them both into the ground.
What if it's a trick and Luigi's Mansion 3 is really Waluigi's Mansion 1?
Epic. He couldn't be in Smash because he was stuck in this mansion.
It's a hotel.
He was stuck in this hotel. Excuse me.
Alternate version is the Nintendo characters have gotten ported into our world, where they now look kind of weirdly realistic. That
does keep the terrifying element that is necessary from Luigi's Mansion.
You're right. It's really hard for this not to just turn into like, this is Smash DLC, but we're gonna try. So they're in our world, and the reason they're in our world is that our world has become haunted by King Boo.
Okay.
So they're gonna run around semi-realistically to various national landmarks.
I can't imagine these.
They're going to various national landmarks, fighting 3v3 battles with ghosts.
I know that this is like the obvious answer, but we cannot unleash this monstrosity upon the world.
The memes, Emma.
Memes. Just let King Boo run rampant, okay? I don't want to see realistically rendered Mario nipples.
Nobody said Mario was gonna be naked.
Well, he gets beat up, his shirt gets torn, whatever,
Stop.
Right?
Why did you introduce that?
Because that's where my mind went, okay? And I just wanted to not be alone in that image.
Oh, man. Look, I think that's pretty good.
If by pretty good you mean not pretty good.
I think it's pretty good if you mean this is what Luigi's Mansion 3 is really. Like, it's going to be released at the end of September.
No. End of October, Mel.
Shoot, and Halloween. Originally you said the 31st, which I should have known is not a day in September. But this episode is subtitled, Madelyn is Real Dumb.
Nintendo's just pranking us. They're like, oh yeah, it comes out on the 31st of September.
Ayo.
Spooky. There is no such day.
I suppose we could go the other way around and, like, Goku has to exterminate Dragon Ball ghosts.
I don't think there's a thing as Dragon Ball ghosts.
There was one. I just heard one sneeze.
Nope. Yeah, I don't like any of these options, if I'm being 130%.
Great. Why don't you bring something to the table then?
Well, I made Smash for you. What else do you want? I'm taking Smash off Sakurai's hands so he can go take a nap in a hotel that he won a sweepstakes that he didn't enter for.
Wink, wink. here's the thing. The characters from Shonen Jump win a sweepstakes to go to a haunted mansion where Luigi pranks the heck out of them.
That sounds good. I like that. I like that more. It's sort of like a parody game.
Yeah.
It's like a reskin of Luigi's Mansion, where Luigi is...
The ghost.
What if Luigi was a character, let's say, in My Hero Academia, which My Hero Academia character would Luigi be?
Tailman.
Tailman.
No, that was just an impulse. Let me think. Like, who's, like, second best, right? Like, Mario would definitely be... No, I changed my mind. Bakugo would be Bowser. Maybe Baby Bowser.
I'm sorry, wouldn't Todoroki be Baby Bowser, and then,
right.
Endeavor be Bowser?
Or would All Might be Bowser, and Deku be Baby Bowser?
Depends on your interpretation of Bowser. Is Bowser a good guy, or is Bowser a bad guy?
Unclear. Okay, fine. Maybe Todoroki can be Baby Bowser. That's fair. Then Bakugo is Wario, I think.
That's good, I think.
Dark Shadow is probably King Boo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Ghostist.
Right? Fine. You're right, but whatever.
Okay.
Ochako is Peach. Momo is... Oh my god, what's her name? What's the other princess's name?
Daisy?
Daisy, thank you. I was like, it's not a fruit, but I can't remember what it is. Toad is Mineta.
Okay, you're not answering the fundamental one, though.
What am I trying to
You're
answer?
You're avoiding the
I'm just trying
Luigi.
I'm trying to narrow it down a little bit for myself.
I don't like that Mineta is Toad, also.
I don't want to say that Deku is Mario. I feel like that's a cop-out answer.
That is a cop-out answer.
Right? But Mario is not an Ida. This is really tough for me.
There are just no clear parallels.
Mario and Luigi don't pair up super well into this, I don't think.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Maybe Luigi is like Gran Torino. No, like, I changed my mind. I said it and I realized it was totally wrong. Totally 100% wrong. Luigi is like that. No, I can make... Mario is like that jerk from Class 1B. And Luigi is the one that talks to animals.
Okay. Yeah, fair.
Except in
like
this case, the animals are Gooigi.
The animals are Luigi.
Or no, maybe Momo is Luigi, because she can, like, make things, and he can make Gooigi.
It's basically the same thing.
I'm glad you see it that way.
Uh-huh.
You're stalling. Give me another game idea.
I'm sorry, it's just Momo is invited to a haunted hotel. Or mansion.
Stop that. We can't have a girl.
Oh, you're right. Girls are for girls.
Girls are for girls' magazines. This is a boys' magazine.
Yeah, I don't know. This is tough. Right? Because you have, like, both ones have, like, iconic characters, right?
Yeah.
And, like, a very specific kind of premise that, like, it feels like you can't get rid of the characters. Like, you have to at least have the characters in one. But then if you bring the characters from one, it feels like you have to have, like, that very specific premise from the other one in order to make, like, a real mashup.
Yeah. Which I tried, and I really think the realistic Nintendo characters are a win.
God. I guess that's what we're going with.
Yes.
Nintendo, if you're listening to me, don't do it, Nintendo.
Nintendo Leap.
Nintendo, don't go into the space world.
Show Nintendo. Yeah.
Show Nintendo. No.
Well, listeners, thanks for tuning in to this week's podcast as Emma just moans over there.
No.
We loved having you here at Talk This.
It's dangerous podcast long.
Thanks especially for bearing with us through the most major technical difficulty that we've had in 2.5 years of doing this podcast. Wherein Emma and I had gotten basically to the point where we were going to talk about the mashup. I look at my mic. Oh, the red light is off.
All she has is Luigi's dark moon.
So, if there's a weird spot where my laughter seems to cut off and is replaced with tears, it's right around Luigi's dark moon. So thanks for bearing with us. If we don't sound as genuine in our emotions in that second run through, or if we sound much more polished and in control of our thoughts than usual.
That was the first take. Madelyn's just lying. We're always polished and in control of our thoughts. Yeah,
actually, we literally just repeated it back. Like, the exact words.
Uh-huh.
Emma didn't have to, but I did. To just match up with the original take. So, pretty impressive.
Incredibly impressive.
But thanks for tuning in. If you like the show, you should follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Talk This Podcast, and we're on YouTube as Talk This Sisters. So follow us, subscribe, like our posts, whatever. You know the drill. Retweet. Put us in your story, depending on what platform you're on. You should also check out our website, www.talkthispodcast.com, where you can read more about the show, see the games that we have in the hat, listen to past episodes, and read our blog, where you can see the Clickbait Boyfriend series, where my boyfriend is playing through Kingdom Hearts 3, the Split Screen series, where we are wrapping up our time with Boys Over Flowers, and relevant, My Hero Academia. We're not wrapping up our time with My Hero. We are in the middle of Season 3. But we are almost done with Boys Over Flowers, and other content, including Emma's mammoth posts about Fire Emblem.
Yes. The Golden Deer one will be out sometime.
As soon as she can
when
stop
I finish writing it.
To write it. You should also, if you like the show, subscribe so you don't miss an episode. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, Overcast, Pocket Casts, Caster, Cast, Poddycast, Pod, Fun. Any place you can find podcasts, you can find Talk This.
All of those are real places, by the way.
Pod is great hosting. Great place to find good new shows. And next week, it's the third round of our new side quest format, which means it's time for Emma and I to finally talk about what we've been playing these past 6 weeks, not these next 6 weeks. Can you imagine if we were like, here's what we're going to play?
Maybe we should try to, like, estimate that, though. Like, do, like, a report card type thing, where at the end we're like, this is what we're planning to play. And then we see if we actually played that, or if Emma just played another 20 hours of Fire Emblem.
Some goal setting. So yeah, otherwise known this episode as Emma talks about Fire Emblem and I go do chores for an hour.
How many words does Emma have about Fire Emblem? Too many words.
But we've been playing other stuff too, and we'll talk about that. You'll also hear the funniest Nier Automata story of all time.
I'm looking forward to hearing it again.
Every time I mention it, he's devastated. It's so great. So, last but not least, Emma, let's pull some games from the hat.
Alright, so our old game will be Castlevania.
Nice.
We haven't done that yet, right?
Don't think so.
Okay. It feels like we should have, but I don't think we've done it yet.
There are some games that have been in there forever.
Yeah, I know. And our new game will be Donut County.
Castle of Donuts.
Perfect. There's a donut floor in Luigi's hotel.
See, couldn't you have come up with that earlier instead of making me do all the work?
Hey, I stole 5 floors from Nintendo, so I don't know what else you want from me.
Alright, do you want me to sign off?
Yes, go ahead.
Alright, folks. I hope you have an unsettlingly realistic